So I get it. It seems like content creation for your small business never ends. Well, because it actually doesn't. But creating content for your small business doesn't have to feel like you're stuck on this never ending, super fast hamster wheel. There are a few key habits that you can build into your daily routine to make content creation so much easier. So I want to dive into 5 different habits that you can start to implement today to help you create a very successful content creation workflow. So, first and foremost is actually planning out your content creation tasks. I know it seems really simple, but by prioritizing and making sure that your content creation tasks are just as important as things like client work or those daily admin tasks that you have, or anything that's revenue generating. If we focus on content creation tasks just like that, I promise it's going to change your life immediately. When you prioritize it and put it in your calendar, like block off a section of your day dedicated to content creation, block off a specific day each month, like I do with my YouTube videos. Make sure it's in your project management software so you know the day in and day out tasks that you need to do for creating content or what you need to do week in and week out. And when you start to prioritize these different content creation tasks, it becomes more natural in your day-to-day life. So for instance, I batch record these YouTube videos all on one day. I block it off in my calendar. I actually block off the whole day, but I know that the morning time is dedicated to actually recording the videos. And then the afternoon is all those tasks related to YouTube, those administrative tasks, making sure everything's ready for my content manager, making sure she has all the files and assets that she needs. And then the things that have kind of become part of the system as well, because I've listed it out and I've become more comfortable with them, is recording videos throughout that process, whether I'm doing a behind the scenes or recording some trending audio since my hair and makeup's already done, batch recording some other videos that I can post on Reels. So those small little things, by prioritizing my YouTube content, I can then also prioritize other things. So number 2, getting organized is absolutely key. I don't care what system you use, but you need something to capture all your content ideas and really organize and corral your entire content creation process together. Maybe you prefer pen and paper. Personally, I like to go more digital and use the system like Airtable. There are 3 key elements that you need to kind of incorporate into the organizing of your content creation workflow. First, you need an area to build and see your content strategy so you can always come back to it. You can always be refining it. You need a place to store all of your content ideas because sometimes you'll get a burst of 10 and then other times you're like, I don't have anything, but you can always come back to some of those stored ideas. And then you need some form of a system to see where that piece of content is in the pipeline. Did you come up with the content idea and now your reels need to be scripted? Maybe you came up with the content idea, but now you need the visual. Now you need the video. Maybe you recorded the reel and now you need the caption and then you can go to post it. You need to see where each of those pieces of content is in that creation pipeline. Now, moving into number 3, the one that I get a lot of hesitation on from small business owners is using a social media scheduling tool. So now you've created all this content, and I see so many small business owners take the time and use their energy to create content, and then that content never sees the light of day. So by making sure you have a habit of scheduling that social media content out, it's going to save you not only time, but it's also going to make sure your efforts aren't wasted. And using one of these apps or softwares or tools is not going to decrease your engagement. And there are some that do not have to be overcomplicated. And there are even certain platforms out there that you can use for free. There are 2 key functions of using a social media scheduling tool to help you save that time and to ensure that you have such a healthy habit build with social media. So first, a lot of your content can actually be posted on your behalf. It can be auto-published by some of these social media scheduling tools. And honestly, it is best to tap into that so that you don't go onto social media and you're like, I don't know what to post today, and you're posting in the moment and you're scrolling and you have these sidetracked things. And then by the time you sit down and create that piece of content, on your phone or wherever this is, you've spent 30 minutes to an hour. Whereas if you pre-schedule and have it auto-published for you, you can avoid that process entirely. You're batch creating the content ahead of time, and then it is getting posted on your behalf. Or 2, if you have content that you don't want auto-published for whatever reason, or it's not available for that type of content, like for instance, Reels with trending audio, it's not available for auto-publish. By using this scheduling tool, you can still have all of the assets that you need directly sent to your phone at the time that you need to post it. So for instance, you could say, all right, next Wednesday, I need this video sent to my phone so that I can upload to both Reels and TikToks with this particular audio. You can use tools to go ahead and schedule that out and have it give you a push notification to your phone and have the video automatically brought into your camera roll, the caption copied to the clipboard so you can then paste it in the caption section, get it posted, and move on about your day. And when we're talking about efficiency when it comes to creating and scheduling your content, we have to talk about Planoly. Listen, when you use Planoly's multi-channel workspace tool, you can plan, schedule, and publish social media posts across all the major social media platforms. Yes, you can even auto-publish your videos for TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook all in one place. And a little birdie told me that there are more channels coming for auto-posting. You all know how much I love repurposing content, so you can use Planoly to take one video and repurpose it across different platforms. After I upload a video, I begin to write out captions and customize the post based on each platform's requirements, which is key in successfully repurposing content. And one of my favorite features is being able to see a preview of the video before posting it to make sure that nothing is cut off, hidden, and it looks exactly how I want it to. And with Planoly, you can organize all your content ideas, share your content calendar with others, preview your content and your feed, and make sure that posts are going out automatically. And honestly, you just save so much time by not having to do all of this manually. So next you have to figure out your must-dos and your nice-to-haves when it comes to content creation. There's always a balance when it comes to content creation, ebbs and flows. Maybe there's a new platform, maybe you get a little burnout. And there are so many other factors that might stop you from actually creating content. So by creating a list of must-dos and nice-to-haves, it's going to help you prioritize certain content creation pieces, certain content creation tasks. Your must-dos are those things that you are committed to doing no matter what. And your nice to haves are those things that you kind of really want to try. Maybe you want to experiment. Maybe you want to add something in. Maybe you want to take something away. Or maybe you just have a spark of creativity. Then you can lean into your nice to haves. For me, my must dos are creating YouTube videos. Don't get me wrong, I do take breaks, but every other piece of content that I produce for my business generally comes from these YouTube videos. So if I don't have that base form of content, it is much more difficult for me to execute my content strategy without it. So I prioritize each and every month scripting and sitting down and recording these videos and making sure my content manager has them so she can batch edit them and we can kind of move things along in the process so that then we can take those videos and make them newsletters and make them social media posts and so many different other things. So YouTube videos are my must-dos. Whereas my nice-to-haves, like today, I had a little bit of extra time, a little bit of extra energy. So throughout my recording day, I've actually taken behind-the-scenes clips. I've created some other supplemental videos that I can kind of put out onto social media because I've given myself the time and freedom to do so. And I'm feeling real creative. So that is a nice to have. I was creating some behind the scenes stories. I created a more in the moment TikTok today, but I cannot get distracted by those things each and every day. I don't always have the time. I don't always have the energy, but when I do, those are my nice to haves, creating more in the moment behind the scenes type of content. And the last habit I want you to kind of consider here, this one is the hardest. By all means, this is the one I struggle with the most. And it's actually reducing your screen time on your phone. And you might be thinking, how is that going to help me in my content workflow? Obviously, it's going to save you time, but by reducing your scroll time and your screen time, you're giving yourself the freedom and the energy to build in these better habits to also kind of structure your content creation workflow to be more of a priority. Now, I still love scrolling. But there are a couple of habits that you might want to try out to kind of reduce your screen time a bit. For me, I say, all right, I'm going to have 2 hours of heads down work. I'm going to accomplish X, Y, and Z. And at the end of it, I'm going to give myself a 10-15 minute break to scroll on TikTok. Or maybe it looks something like for you, you check Instagram stories in the morning and then Instagram stories at night and get your little binge in. And the common misconception here is I need to go scroll on social media for inspiration, for ideas, to keep up with the trends or whatever else. And believe me, this is one I struggle with the most. But I promise you, by doing this, you're wasting more time than you think. You're allowing the comparison monster to creep in a little bit, and you can actually dilute your own creativity, which is the biggest one for me. So rather than kind of leaning into the scroll time to the binge watching, whatever that looks like for you, you can lean into tools or products. Like for me, I use Reels Report to help me find trending Reels audios from B Squared Social, or I use things like Canva templates from your template club that do stay on top of trends. So I don't have to take the time to do all that research to constantly be scrolling. And you can tap into things like that too. So now that you have 5 different habits that you can start incorporating into your daily routine as a small business owner or content creator to make your content workflow even more successful, you can actually start to plan out some of your content and put these into place. Below, you're actually going to find my new Airtable Content Planner template. That's a mouthful, but it's a good one. And you can download it for free. Check the link in the description below, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next week.